Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
Yes! You just made the list!
Brock Lesnar.
And hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Stuart.
My name is Joshua Plummer.
And yes, we're finally back. It's kind of a busy week for both of us. So this SummerSlam review, he's kind of like a week late, but
Sorry.
we're getting there. No, it's both of us, mate. We've both been quite, we had plans, and it's just life got in the way. Happens.
It happens. COVID and whatnot, and WWE adding matches at the last minute.
No, nothing changes then.
Nope. Thanks, Vince.
Yeah, he likes doing it. I mean, you got the Thunderdome thing, so so to kind of make it up to everyone, as I put on Twitter, we're kind of doing like two in one. We're just going to basically going to put out two reviews instead of just one, instead of just doing like skipping one. So this would be out, and the Payback one would be out both are Wednesday. So
2 for 1.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, I guess it's a kind of a blessing that the kind of the pay-per-views a week in advance. So they're kind of both still relevant to the other.
They're still relevant, and we actually have the benefit of hindsight, I guess, now, where we can, instead of reviewing SummerSlam going, oh, what are they going to do? We know exactly what they did, and see how that factors in.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, especially when it's especially when we know, like, sort of, was it Payback happened last night, and obviously the whole big thing going into that show with a certain someone becoming a certain client of theirs now. So
yeah, no spoilers or other predictions or whatever.
I guess we can't really use that, because I guess if anyone's listening to this, they probably, unless we could pretend it's not all happening, I don't think that'll work. So, I mean, we can, but I guess it's no fun that way.
No.
But obviously this is I'm going to call it, let's be honest, it's kind of part one of like a 2-part like sort of view, 2 shows in one.
Yeah.
So obviously this is a week late, but we get there in the end, so that's all that matters. So so obviously we're talking about SummerSlam. It was the first show that happened. I think it was the first pay-per-view that had that Thunderdome thing.
It was, yes.
Yeah, before we get into that, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, it's got more of an atmosphere than the Performance Center, which I prefer, and it looks, I guess, similar to how the shows would be. Obviously, there have been a few issues with the Thunderdome, because obviously people are going to troll and misbehave. We've had obviously there are stupid petty things again, like people wearing AEW shirts. They've been kicked off, which is very harsh. But then again, people showing pictures of Chris Benoit, Ku Klux Klan members. It's a little bit silly.
Was it some guy put a video of someone getting killed or something?
Something like that.
It's just, I don't know what they were expecting, to be fair. I mean, come on, it's like, I think I was watching Meltzer. I think he put up a good suggestion that just pay, like, if you really want the audience to so you can vet them properly, just hire these people, and then so you don't have to, so you can properly vet them, so you know exactly who's going to be there. It's the best you could do, but yeah, it's a bit bad. It's been a bit, So I just want your thoughts on it, because obviously it's it looks more spectacular, because obviously the whole lights and the whole, like, it looks good
for sure. Honestly, I prefer like what AEW are doing, where you've got obviously got some roster members like on the outside. I mean, they had that with the Performance Center, but everyone's behind plexiglass, and it became everyone's best weapon. But if it was just similar to how NXT was before lockdown, so there's a few hundred people there. I'd prefer that, and then maybe you could have the Thunderdome if you want a big kind of spectacle for the pay-per-views, perhaps.
Yeah, that could work. I mean, I don't know. It's like, I hate the was it background noise they've put out. It's basically like the 2K19 kind of, or like the 2K like crowd noise.
Yeah.
It's just I kind of hate it, because it's like, it doesn't. It's like, even when you had the people around, it still had that kind of like, if a big move happened, people reacted to it.
Yeah.
And it's this constant, just same old like sound going through the entire show. So like when someone does a big move, there's no sound. It's just like, what's the point? That's kind of what wrestling is. It's kind of like the big pops for the big moves.
Exactly. When you've got the pinfalls, the face wins, there's a little bit of a cheer. When the heel wins, there's a bit of a boo. Obviously, the crowd is like, it's all moments are. Every crowd sound is completely nuanced. It's like when you watch rugby, if someone there's like a forward pass, someone goes forward. If it knocks on, there's a sarcastic way. You know. Obviously, that's difficult to do, and but they could try. I don't know. They got the tech to do it. If radio DJs can do that, can just press a button and make it smooth, I don't see why not.
Well, if sitcoms can do laughing tracks on, it's when something's funny, even if it's not funny.
Yeah.
Then why can't they do some like cheers or boos when like someone on the control desk is pressing these buttons when like do like that kind of stuff?
Get everyone in the studio. Okay, let's have a small boo. Let's have a big boo. You know,
it can work. I mean, they can do it. So, but I don't know. It's just I think again, I don't want to be AEW marks, but it's like AEW. I think have done it right.
Yeah.
Apparently, like the last Dynamite, there were actually some fans there, I think.
Yeah, I think it was like 10% or 20%, however many it was.
Yeah. So, and obviously take away from football, it's like there was an event, I think it was a match, Brighton-Chelsea, football-wise, where they actually had like, I think like 20% or like fans there, like I think like 1,000 or something.
Yeah, they're having they're having rugby next week against Bath and Harlequins. They're having like 10-20% crowd capacity.
Yeah, I just think that's the kind of the way it's going to go. I think WWE I give them credit. It's the safest way to do it, by far. But
and they tried something, and I guess like that's it's very fitting of their stories now at the moment. At least they're trying. They may not be great, but they're trying to be bold, I guess, and be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I give them credit where credit's due in that. At least they're trying to. I mean, it does feel like the old. But was it? What's that saying when you sort of like, was it faux sign concealed sticks?
Yeah.
Type thing.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds. It seems like they're trying to do that, but
yeah.
But I give them credit. But they had fun. I've got to be honest, not a fan of Thunderdome. I know it sounds silly, but I actually miss the fans of this, like the wrestlers, kind of like in the background. At least it felt like people, actually there.
Yeah.
So,
and it's when you get like because obviously it's magnetized, so you see people like sat there like on their phone like in the audience, but now you can see it on a massive screen where someone's just not even watching the action, just bored, tweeting or doing whatever. Or just eating or having a cup of tea or whatever. It's like they don't look like engaged at all.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times I'm watching these shows when I'm just like, sometimes I think it's like, I think last night I was like on my phone, it's just like, it had it in the background. It's like sometimes you can sort of turn away and not watch it and sort of like you don't miss anything.
Yeah.
But that might be more discredit to the sort of the WWE as a product than anything else, but or just my short attention span. Take your pick.
I think it's late as well. I'm just thinking of ways just to stay awake, so I have some food, have some drinks, try not to fall asleep.
Yeah, I mean, you've been live streaming these, haven't you? I think you live streamed SummerSlam and did you do Payback last night?
Yeah, I did Payback, yeah. So if anyone joined me on the stream, you just see me in my dressing gown, feet up on the sofa, just devouring some nachos.
Yeah, just like telling your body, stay awake.
Yeah,
stay awake. As much as that would be kind of, I wouldn't say funny, but it's sort of like a thing where like you live stream but you fall asleep.
Yeah.
But that's me. Anyway, but yeah, that's enough. But I just thought your thoughts on it anyway. But yeah, so this show, was it so it's first in Thunderdome. It had some, I mean, going into it, were you kind of like, anything stand out you were looking forward to? Or was it more of a just okay, I have to watch it, so anything you really were looking forward to?
I was looking forward to the rematch of Asuka and Sasha in particular. One, because they have great chemistry together. It's like a kind of dream match kind of anyway. They're both very, very good at what they do. And plus it's to see how the storyline plays in with Sasha Banks and Bayley and the potential or inevitable heel turn or face turn or split, however you want to call it. I thought Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton were telling a really good story, but we'll get into that. How there was a disappointing element, but we'll speak about that later. I was interested to see how Dominik would fare as well, because I was impressed with what he was doing with his beat downs and his energy there. I was digging that with that build, so it was interesting to see. I think the outcome was fairly inevitable, but interested to see what he could do for sure.
Yeah, cool. I mean, to be fair, like I think I said it in my sort of prediction film, my live stream. It's just like I thought to myself, it's first time a show felt like everything on that show was earned, had a story to build to it.
Yeah.
I've watched for a while anyway.
Yes.
It just felt just like everything on the card was like, okay, that had a story to build to it. That had a story. They have their way on the card.
Yes, for sure.
I can't remember last time I've watched a show where it's not just like you have one or two matches they've just tagged on, just for the sake of we need one or two more matches to fill the long running time.
One thing I'm very confused about as well. Obviously, the week before or on SmackDown, I think it was the first Thunderdome, AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy had their Intercontinental Championship match, which Jeff Hardy won. I was thinking, okay, but surely they're building that for SummerSlam. Why would they waste it the week before on free TV? Basically, sure, that's a dream match, Hardy and AJ Styles.
You kind of know why, right? It's kind of isn't that the first show that had the Thunderdome?
Yeah, but I think it was plugged way before the Thunderdome. I think so.
Yeah, I think sometimes they do it, main event, big main event. It's not. I would have personally liked to have seen that on there, but I guess they're leaving that for another. Well, maybe at Clash of Champions, maybe.
Perhaps we had Hardy and Shinsuke Nakamura, and they're playing off that. This is the SmackDown in between SummerSlam and Payback. Jeff Hardy's got that leg brace and he used it again. And AJ is rightfully saying that you cheated to win. That's not cool. I want my rematch. And then Sami Zayn returns, so we've got a nice juicy triple threat potentially.
I mean, it's so much stuff
good.
Yeah. So much stuff going on. I'm looking forward to this week. There's that. Again, I suppose we get into the SummerSlam instead of just talking about wrestling in general. But I mean, it's like that takeover. Don't take over that for fatal 4-way 60-minute Iron Man match. We've got to look forward to.
Oh, that's
Wednesday.
Going to be good.
Oh, I can't wait to watch that.
On Tuesday, isn't it? It's a Tuesday night, but we can again watch it on Wednesday, I guess. Yeah.
Well, hopefully WWE put it on the WWE the next episode of NXT on the network quicker because.
I've got BT Sport now, so I might stay up and watch it.
Oh, you lucky.
Yeah.
I don't. I decided to stick with got Sky Sports, so I'll find a way to watch it. It's fine, but. Anyway, I think we should probably get on to talk about SummerSlam, I assume.
We should. Not what wasn't on the card and what happened afterwards, but what was actually on the card.
Yeah, this is a weird thing. So we're like talking about a thing that's happened like a week ago, but then there's another thing that's happened last night, but we're not talking about that until tomorrow. No. In the concept of we're going
to be doing this a lot in the episode, just jumping forward.
Yeah, it's gonna be like what's that show? Like flashbacks. It's like we're gonna be like I'll flash forward.
Yeah,
back and forth. It's gonna be a very weird podcast, but stay with us because give us some. Stay with us if you do with us at 10 minutes in or something. I don't know.
Sorry for the rambling. Enough rambling. More wrestling.
Yes. Yeah. So obviously, obviously had the pre-show match. You had on SummerSlam. I had the United States Champion Apollo Crews versus MVP. Again, always say this. Probably we didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. I assume you didn't watch the pre-show and the SummerSlam one anyway. I
saw like the last 5 minutes of it as I had my tactical nap before getting up, switching it on. But I have something to say about this in particular. So they gave a hell of a lot of time on Raw. The weeks building up to it with Apollo Crews and the Hurt Business, I think they're called the Hurt Business.
Hurt
something like that. They spent a lot of time. It's a big mid-card title trying to build Apollo Crews, and then they bung it on the pre-show. I'm confused by that. I really am.
It's I don't know. I mean, I guess it might be the first time I probably ever say this ever, but I guess in finding a place for it. Because obviously, it is kind of a big kind of match. So I guess they still have to put the stuff on the pre-show, I guess. But I mean, it's like example. I mean, you could have put it on that the World Tag Team title slot, maybe.
They could have done. It being SummerSlam, you expect it to be a larger card anyway, being one of the bigger shows.
I don't know, fair enough, mate. So, I mean, obviously the outcome was obviously Apollo Crews is well, on this show he's still United States champion. I'm assuming if you're listening to this, I'm assuming you've watched Payback. So, and we have last night. So, price of recording, we're going to probably bring up saying like title changes that happened last night and Payback, and then we'll talk about it more on our Payback review. Let's just bring that up now. Kind of just doing the sort of admin when it comes to these things. You've got to bring up all the matches that happened, even if you kind of didn't watch it. But but that's cool. But yes, let's get into the main show. Yes, so obviously it kicked off with one of two title defenses for the Golden Role Models. That is Sasha Banks and Bayley. Obviously, I think was it Asuka. I find it this one was strange that she had to fight both Bayley and Sasha Banks on the same night. That's quite, I don't know, it felt weird. It feels like they've got nobody else for like Bayley to go against, so they put her against Asuka. Maybe that's what it felt like.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if anyone's going to pull it off, it's Asuka. But Asuka, she got the opportunity because she won a battle royal. And I think the reason she got a title shot, I think it was against Sasha Banks, is because she got a. Didn't Asuka beat Bayley to get a shot at Sasha, and then won a battle royal to face Bayley? It was something like that. There was some kind of stake there.
I think so. I remember something about a Titantron thing of Stephanie McMahon saying that you've got to face. Asuka's got to face both of you or something. It probably ended in controversy because it seems to be a thing with this rivalry. It's got to be some controversy. But no, I mean, with this one, I was kind of looking forward to it because obviously you got Asuka and Bayley. You expect to be good. Asuka and Sasha Banks, is going to be good, right? So like you expecting really good matches here, and again, this match delivered in my opinion. I think it was really, really enjoyable. I really enjoyed it. I didn't expect this match to go on for too long either. So it says 11 minutes. Yeah. Well, especially if you've got double duty, you don't want to, go too long. But a good 10-minute match. It was really good, I thought. I mean, it got some cool moments. I think it was like, from the top of my head, I like some of the counters they did in this match. The sort of, there was a thing when, Bayley went to the top rope and kind of tried doing her elbow drop thing she does, but then Asuka kind of like caught her and got him in the Asuka lock. That's quite cool. Sort of like, I enjoyed that. And then, I'm sure Bayley done the same thing.
I think so. This is great reviewing, by the way. I think this happened. We think it happened. I have no recollection. I'm going to be honest. I have absolutely no recollection of this match, of what happened. The only thing I know is about how it ended.
This is what happens when. Sorry, I apologise, everyone. It's just like it's been a week, and again,
it has been a week.
Normally, it's like you try and remember something a week ago. I think it was like I think I've got here. It's like it basically was a match with Asuka, sort of was kind of taking control of like Bayley was just trying to get away from her basically, and then sort of throughout the match, Bayley started working on the knee. Just something to go, so sort of like the good old fashioned wrestling when it came to like both working on a body part really. But the question of this match really was how Sasha Banks was going to get involved and how she was going to be implemented.
Absolutely. Would she end up helping Bayley? Would she end up accidentally costing Bayley? What was the story going to be?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's. Also, we get to the Raw one. They kind of had the similar ending in some ways, but just reversed, I guess. But it basically was a match. It basically was that. It was really good. I like technical match of it, but then it kind of went to a situation where it's like near the end, was sort of like Sasha got involved, got knocked off the apron by Asuka from like a hip attack. Hate that thing. Hate that. That's not really a move. It doesn't hurt, but yeah, the hip attack, and then obviously from that distraction.
getting smacked in the face with someone's hip, that hurts. I've played rugby, getting smacked in the face by someone's hip hurts.
My bad. I apologise. That must... Okay. It's a strange move. Anyway, but yeah. This is ending with that. Obviously, Banks went off the apron and Bayley took advantage and done like the good typical heel move, inside cradle. Kind of get the quick pin. And was able to retain her title. So, but again, the story was near the end where it kind of like, obviously, working on the knee from the match. Obviously, Sasha Banks plays a tackle after the match that kind of like set the kind of the old goal. Asuka's going into the Raw match with a slight injury. So yeah. So the silence over there. It's just like you're like, yeah, totally agree with you, mate.
It was over a week ago. I'm really trying to think about what I enjoyed. I remember I liked it, but I can't remember
this is great. I love it. I get that's okay. Let's talk about a situation of just like it seems like they're setting it up quite nicely for the split. That's pretty much what we're waiting for at the moment.
Yeah,
right?
I was waiting for something more to happen at Payback, but again, I can't talk about it because it happened. It happened the week after. We've got to wait until tomorrow to review Payback.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. This
review's a cock.
It's fine, mate. I got to be honest. If I've learned anything, I got to think people listen to us like they listen to our view, but they kind of just enjoy it. It sounds like a conversation about two people that haven't watched the show for a week, and that's fun to be fun to listen to.
There we go. We hope you're enjoying this. Please stick with us.
I mean, it's fine. I think the problem is we're trying really hard to not talk about Payback.
Yeah.
And it's like a situation. I guess, and if we do that, it's gonna be exactly like this. It's gonna be bad. So I think we should just talk about it, man. Obviously not. It's like anything. Just like bring it up, but just don't go into too much detail. That's all.
Yeah.
But anyway, for the SummerSlam, it's set up quite nicely for the match, the Raw women's match later on in the night. So
yeah, for sure. 1 out of 2. Now they just need to. Bayley just needs to return the favour, help Sasha win.
That's the question that was going into that match anyway. So
as we say, we'll get to that later.
So it's just normally we go with detail, but I apologise for everyone listening. So we'll get better at this. Trust me. It's just this is new territory for us. We've never had to like do a review this. Well, have we? I don't think we ever have like done a review this.
We've done like different reviews like, back to back, but not like in 2 days. We've had to do 2 pay-per-views.
No.
Because I remember we did like a week up. Was it like there was like NXT, Extreme Rules, and Double or Nothing? I think it was. Not quite sure. It was something.
I think we done like a review once when we done the UK both nights of the UK tournament or something. Or we done one when we sort of like glazed over. I think another show we did because it's like we thought it's too late now, but. It's fine. We can still talk about this. It's great. This is a learning curve, so it's fine, people. We're allowed to make mistakes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But obviously after this, we're into the Raw Tag Team Championship match between the Street Profits and Andrade and Angel Garza. Yes, that's right. Obviously, good thing about this, we can talk about this because it wasn't a Payback, so we can still talk about it. So this is going to be good.
Hey.
So obviously this match was set up by someone. Interesting story, I guess, with who spiked Montez Ford's drink.
They tried to do something with it, but it wasn't like clear and obvious. It was going to be Selena Vega. It's Selena Vega. I mean, come on. She's got that, I don't want to say look, but she's got that smile and that sort of laugh that's like, yeah, she's pretty evil. So if someone's going to spike your drink in the sense of trying to benefit your team, who do you think's going to do it? But yeah, I mean, weird thing is like Kevin Owens is on commentary for no reason. I found strange at this. I liked him on commentary though. It's like Samoa Joe as well. I think Samoa Joe is great on commentary. Obviously, I prefer him wrestling, but he's doing a good job. Yeah,
fair enough. I don't know. Maybe I just like commentary people on commentary to have kind of a reason to be there. It kind of felt like he just put him on there to sort of, do commentary, and then I've got a KO show on Monday. Join me. That's good, I guess, but they could have done that just with a simple, I don't know, big promo or something, like a small promo saying on Monday.
No promo in between the matches. Tune in Raw next week, especially if something happens. Like AEW do this, like all of a sudden, like towards the end of the pay-per-view. So Darby Allin made his return. This is a few weeks ago, and then suddenly, oh, by the way, now we're going to have John Moxley and Darby Allin next week. He's just made the match, like there and then. Like, okay.
Fair enough. There you go. Done.
Very quick announcement.
Yeah. Well, I think then after AEW just a bit slicker on it because they kind of know how to do. I don't know, but yeah, I found it strange, but it was entertaining enough, so kind of worked. But yeah. I guess some highlights from this match. Obviously, kind of my memory, I guess, a bit more or less than yours, I guess, because it was a week ago.
I remember Montez Ford getting some very quick offense. And kind of dominating and then getting caught on the outside and slammed down onto the mat. I remember that.
Yeah, that's the sort of big... Yeah, it's like basically like a dive over the top rope but then got caught, like, and that kind of stuff. That was really cool. But yeah, I mean, again, this was really quick. Apparently it's on like not even 10 minutes. Like not even 8 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a really quick match. And obviously ended with... was it Selena Vega getting pushed off the apron? Seems to be a thing.
Off the apron by, was it Andrade or like Angel Garza inadvertently?
Andrade was checking on Selena Vega, see how she is, and because of that, obviously, basically Angel Garza was kind of like, what's going on, and then before you know it, he was getting double teamed, and then he got Dawson hit the, was it cash out? I don't know what move that is. Hit the cash out, and then Ford got tagged in and done this really cool. Was it turning frog splash?
He gets great elevation on the frog splash.
I'm a huge fan of Montez Ford.
I like Montez Ford. He does remind me of The Rock with his energy and his eyes in particular. He's very charismatic.
Yeah, I think I love Street Profits in this sense. They feel like definitely different from any tag team I've seen, and that's because when it comes to WWE, have a certain like way of talking and a way of doing things, but they feel like they're actually having fun, and that's what makes it. And it's like that friend when you have sometimes his energy is so. That's what I feel with the Street Profits or Montez Ford more. It's like his energy, you can't help but be pumped and happy because his energy is so upbeat.
Yeah, I liked when they did the Raw updates as well, when they did the news things. It's like, oh, by the way, this is going on. What's going to happen? Ooh, I thought that was fun.
It just made it feel exciting. Just actually. Yeah. If it's a basic thing of that, if they're excited, we should be excited, but not like it doesn't feel artificial. It just feels like we should be excited. But yeah, I mean, again, it was fine. I mean, it was short, like 8 minutes. It's quick. Probably didn't have to have the finish, but it's fine.
I think they're just playing in with similar to what they're doing with Banks and Bayley of the potential. Turning on each other with Angel Garza and Andrade, and I can see a good Intercontinental title feud, or rather US title feud. Raw.
I'll be up for that.
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess okay, when it comes to, obviously we can talk about this because obviously it wasn't on Payback, so that's cool. But it's like what tag division. I don't know what the Raw tag division is any good at the moment. I don't know if that's really fair, but
I think it's non-existent at the moment. The Viking Raiders and the Hurt Business, they're all down on Raw Underground. So at the moment, I think it's just them two, which
concerning.
is peculiar.
Concerning.
Yes, I'm very concerning.
Apparently, there's a draft coming up in the end of the month, September. So, I mean, it kind of means it doesn't mean anything because obviously the brand extension's been a joke for years, for ages now. So, but at least it mix up a little bit. But yeah, see what happens. But. Yeah, I'm happy. I mean, I just like the Street Profits. I just want to give them more opportunities because they're just entertaining, and I just love watching them. So, but yeah, obviously, the next match obviously we're breezing through these quite quickly.
It's great after all the rambling.
Yeah, we're getting through it. No, normally it's like this would be 2 hours.
This professional, we're proficient.
Yeah, we're getting good. Maybe we're getting good at this.
After 3 years, that's the thing as well. We've been doing this for 3 years.
It was our big anniversary before SummerSlam, wasn't it?
Yes, I think on the day of SummerSlam, the show was our 3rd year anniversary.
It was. I had a quick listen to our first podcast.
And
I mean, you were great, but I kind of hated I sounded horrible, man. That was awful.
I mean, we had the one microphone. I mean, we were recording because of obviously pandemic and whatnot, we're recording separately. But on that first one, Stuart was just around my house. We had his microphone. It's a condenser microphone, so we're basically just sat like facing each other as close as we can.
Awkward as hell.
It's like
and especially when I think it was like when I was doing it at that time, we done them in the evenings, like proper evenings, like 8 or 7 or 8. So and it was a bit cold at times. So when I speak, it felt like I was cold, like shaking. But it's I think when I hear that and hear this now, definitely 100% improvement from where we were.
Good.
I think it's because we finally figured out what our style is. How we kind of do things.
I think so.
But so another one we should listen to is like I was listening back to our No Mercy 2001 review. That's a mark improvement. I really enjoyed listening back to that.
Oh, good. That's a nice little plug. Check out our little retro review of No Mercy.
Yeah, please do. I was checking it out because I done my best match series thing. I was looking at Jericho versus The Rock for the WCW title.
Yeah.
Got liked by Jericho, by the way.
Yeah, boy.
This is the plug section of the podcast. You know? we're just plugging all our stuff anyway. But the point is, So it was 3 years. I know it can't be 3 years. So, but it's hopefully we can keep this going for many more years, if depending on situations. Anyway, let's get on. We'll probably go back to this SummerSlam, not the 2017. Yeah, 2017 one.
2017.
Obviously, we talk about the match between the bitter rivalry, I guess, between Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Was originally supposed to be a hair versus hair match.
Which made sense.
It made sense, but they changed it last minute to a no disqualification loser leaves WWE match. I guess, and for the obvious reason, obviously the thing that happened to Sonya Deville with someone trying to kidnap her in her own home.
Was that a thing that actually happened? Because I heard about it. Like, was that a storyline? Was it something I completely missed, or was that like not kayfabe at all?
Unless I've been reading it wrong, that 100% happened, man.
Someone tried to kidnap Sonya Deville.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, man, it's totally will. I'll probably get up briefly, but yeah, it's I have to admit, I read it. I was like, why? But not in a harsh way. But it's like. But yeah, apparently they went to her home and everything. So I guess that's why they changed it, because it's like, okay, you loser leaves WWE. I think she definitely needs time off after that traumatic experience for her.
I guess so.
But yeah, so yeah, seriously, it was a proper thing. Yeah, proper serious and everything. Yeah, it's it's kind of lost for words. Like, that actually is not.
I am lost for words. I need to have a little look. Yeah, I'm going to have a little find of that. If you go on just for a second, because I've got to check this out.
Like, it literally was a situation where I don't know the ins and outs of the details, but I remember it's just like it just came up on my street. Like on your Facebook, you're like, wait, what? Like, seriously?
I thought it was. I saw it. I thought it was storyline. Man tried to take Sonya Deville hostage in her Florida home. Or what did it say? Philip A. Thomas II, 24, was charged with attempted armed kidnapping. Jesus
man, it's definitely
Christ.
Not. It's literally crazy. It's like, and I can totally get why she I think it's possibly a hair versus hair match, because obviously Mandy Rose has got a new hairdo. So, but then
Jesus Christ, it gets fucking darker as well. Broke into Sonya's home with a knife, plastic zip ties, duct tape, mace. He'd been planning it for 8 months.
Yeah, so when you want to have a couple of time off to process that, it's like I feel so sorry for it. It's just like what the kind of mindset you have to do that. So I guess as you could probably guess, it felt like that with the SmackDown going into this match, SummerSlam, where they kind of Mandy Rose kind of changed their mind and trying to have one last hope for her friend. That was her way. I guess they were thinking, okay, she can't really keep this going, so we need to find a way to write her off telly for a bit. So they changed it with the no disqualification, loser leaves WWE kind of thing.
Okay, now that booking makes sense.
Were you kind of confused why they changed it?
I thought that was Yeah, I thought that was just like a story, like exclusive, like WWE thing. Someone tried to kidnap Sonya Deville, and that's why she's mad at Mandy. Like, what?
I mean, I wouldn't want to. No, I mean, maybe it's just me, but WWE are bad. But I don't think are they that bad? I mean,
not. Oh, they've done bad things. They've done worse, you know.
Yeah, but so when did it happen? So it kind of changed the whole look at this match, really, for me, anyway.
Yeah, it was a shame because I was looking forward to the hair versus hair concept. I think Sonya Deville there was a really good backstage segment where Sonya just basically kicked the shit out of Mandy, like cutting her hair off and stuff. I know there were extensions, but you know, still like it looked good, looked graphic. Okay, this looks personal. This is going to be a fight. Excellent. I only have it. It was another one which is built up over a long period of time, which is good. Something that they tried. Something that the woman can do without involving the title. Actually get a decent storyline, which is good. But the one gripe I had with those qualification matches, and whenever a table is brought out, the rule is, and as John Moxley mentioned on AEW, go back to AEW again with his contract signing. Oh, it's a pleasure doing business with you, this contract signing, and no one had to go through the table. That's a nice little reference, but if you set up a table on the outside specifically for a certain spot, and it's not used in the match, okay, the match is finished, I think at least give Sonya her heat back. Put Mandy through the table. Yeah,
well, like frustration because she lost, right? I knew you were going to bring that. Because I put on my notes, never used a set-up table, broken the golden rule. That's the golden rule in wrestling. If you set up a table, you got to go through it, right?
Someone's got to go through it.
I don't know, unless they just forgot about it. I mean, but I was just like, why set it up if you're not going to put? That's the plan. It could have been a part of the finish.
Yeah.
But I mean, how long was this match? This is one about quite short as well, kind of. Yeah, I mean, it seems like it was a situation where it's just Deville was kind of working on the whip spray pretty much for the match, using her as an MMA background, kind of to like properly out wrestle, out maneuver Mandy Rose, because Sonya Deville's got really good over the last couple of years. Obviously, you know, from where she was when she started.
I remember she was very well protected. Like she hadn't lost the match for ages and ages, and then she casually lost all the time. Like remember she was obviously in that tag team with Mandy Rose, and she never got pinned or submitted or anything. She was protected for a long time, and I thought, okay, they might have potential here. They might be building up towards something. Maybe she could be the next Ronda Rousey, perhaps, if they wanted to go down that route.
I'm sure we booked a fantasy booking about Sonya Deville at one point, right? In a fantasy booking game.
We did, and we won.
Indeed, it was. I was really. I think it was like back forward between us. Just like I was really proud of that one. Because it was really good. Yeah. But so it obviously proves that we saw potential in Sonya Deville.
Yeah, well, there's new potential now. Like maybe she'll come back, and we haven't seen him for a while. Paul Ellering. I'd still like to see that partnership.
Definitely. Yeah, that's if they do that, we're like, where's the royalties, man? That's our idea. Taking our ideas again. But I mean, it's the kind of way it ended, kind of like. It was just basically like constant running knees by Mandy Rose on sort of Sonya Deville. But then she sort of, what's her finisher? It's like a sort of, is it like a sit out sort of hook the arms and the sit out powerbomb type thing?
It's like a tiger bomb.
Yeah, some of that. She hit that and then she hit another running knee.
Yeah.
So basically she hit like 4 running knees on like Sonya Deville that I kind of like because it shows like frustration. I want to I'm not hitting you with 1, I'm not hitting you with 2, not even 3. I'm going to take you out properly. That I kind of like the intensity in that sense.
Yep.
But got the win. I mean, going into it was obvious even when we take away the whole terrible situation in real life with with Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
I was going into this with the kind of situation of like, Mandy Rose, with they're doing the hair versus hair, right? I know this sounds silly, but she obviously got a new hairdo after it. And why would she post it all on social media if she's going to lose that hair in like 2 weeks? So, and I think and also the idea of Sonya Deville having like kind of no hair would make her even more badass.
Yeah, absolutely.
especially with the MMA background, it's like it could like be the thing that ticks her off and she goes on a proper rampage. That would be great to see. She can still do it now, but that's what I thought they were going to go with, unless that was the plan. But plans change for, unfortunately, real life got in the way. I mean, Mandy Rose, I mean, the question is, I was reading something about it. Could you see her, like, this could be enough momentum to kind of book her way up to getting, like, a SmackDown women's championship match, maybe?
I mean, potentially. I mean, with Sonya gone, like she's got nothing to do, so I don't see why not, like, go for the title.
True, but I guess it depends on when they decide to. I guess wouldn't it be? Is there like an in-between feud for Bayley before? Oh, we hope we get the split between Sasha Banks and Bayley.
I'm trying to remember who else is on SmackDown.
You got Naomi.
If there's. Is Lacey Evans a heel now?
I've got to be honest. I've lost. I'm sure last time I kind of was bothered by or kind of figured out if she was. I think she was a heel. Was Money in the Bank, but that was a long time ago now. I guess with the Mandy Rose thing, yeah. I guess that's where they're going. Unless they just keep her as kind of like convincing. What was it, Otis to cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase? That again, me personally, I forget. You forget. Oh my God, he's Money in the Bank, but
she wants to cash in on the tag team division. Okay, yeah, you want to. I get it. You want to make the tag team division mean something, but in order to do that, you just have to have really good teams. And if you're Money in the Bank, and it's just you've got an opportunity to get a world title, like easy peasy.
I know. I think it's one of those. It's one of those things. It's like I think putting a briefcase on Otis was. This might sound harsh, but a bad idea.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I'm very... I'm obviously, hindsight, we know why Asuka won the Raw Women's Championship from Becky Lynch, because she had to relinquish it because obviously she was pregnant. But for the last 3 years, Women's Money in the Bank, they've had like no run with it. Like no one's been in the background lingering like with the title, not the title, the briefcase. The only person that did that was Carmella for a bit. Alexa Bliss cashed in straight away on Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey. Bayley cashed in. I think that was on Alexa Bliss
same
as well
night
as at Charlotte. And then the following year, then Asuka pretty much the day after on Raw. So we missed out on a potential story there. Yeah,
and then obviously with the Money in the Bank, it's like they missed out on a perfectly. Like, why didn't they just give it to AJ? I mean, it was. I know you could say, does he need it? But it would have been way more interesting. It would have been interesting to see him walking around with the briefcase. So not against Otis, but I just don't think. I don't think it was the right time to put it on him. If you're not going to do anything with him, why do it in the first place? But again, maybe they've got some long-term booking I don't know about. But yeah, that's what I think Mandy might be doing. Maybe just until like maybe Sonya comes back or is ready. Maybe should be like sort of just helping out the heavy machinery maybe, or she might challenge whoever if there was a split sooner rather than later between Bayley and Sasha Banks, and whoever wins that feud, she'll go against him maybe. Yeah, potentially. Yeah. So obviously, next one we've got matches. Obviously, the match that they've put a lot. You could say Raw has invested a lot of time in, with especially last couple of months with Seth Rollins and the Rey Mysterio feud. But this obviously with that probably not great stipulation match where Rey's lost his eye, but then Mysterio now has an eye, but terrible stipulation. But
well, here's the thing: he didn't actually. He'd already lost an eye or lost a damaged eye. He damaged his eye, and then he wrestled the match at Extreme Rules, and it was the same eye that he injured. I like the story in the sense of like trying to take out Rey, but the way he went about it was not cool. Wouldn't be. I didn't enjoy it basically, but yeah, because of them actions, this resorted to obviously Dominik getting involved and kind of setting up his kind of debut. He's kind of been involved with helping his father take out Seth from Murphy with kendo sticks before Extreme Rules, but it kind of felt like a natural. Sorry, mate. And afterwards as well, he taking him out brutal shots, proper whacking them. So Seth Rollins got some nasty gashes on his back, and Buddy Murphy did as well. Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy get a little bit of payback. The next week, they tie him up in the ropes and they kick the crap out of him with kendo sticks. It reminded me when Xavier Woods was trapped on the turnbuckle when they had the Hell in a Cell match against the Usos, and they were just whacking him.
Did you see the picture, right? From Dominik Mysterio posted it. Oh, yeah. I think someone said, "Oh, that can't be real." He's like, "They're real, mate. Their kendo stick shots to the skin hurt, big time."
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like I don't want any kendo stick shots to my skin ever in my lifetime. You know, if anyone does, a bet that says if you lose you got to get a kendo stick to the back, I'm like, nope, not happening, not doing it. But but they set out quite nicely because it was like, as you said, going in, you're kind of curious to see. Okay, Dominik Mysterio is like, you're intrigued to see what he's like in the ring because obviously apparently he's been training really hard, and obviously he's got his he's obviously. If he's in segments you've seen when he's got involved, like doing the 619, he's looked quite agile and quite, like he gets it.
Helping Bray in his match against Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series last year.
Yeah, obviously the bit with chucks around and stuff. That was really actually forgot about that. Yeah. So it's like I think they've been kind of like slowly building him up to have his first match. That's kind of nice.
And this event marked 15 years, I guess, when we first saw him in the ring. When he was on the line in the ladder match between Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero.
I'm your papa, Dominik.
Eddie Guerrero. Yeah. Although there's a controversy, I guess, but it's something that one of our GSPL competitors pointed out, Mags, that Dominik looks like the son of Walter. With, I think it's like the jaw shape.
I think watching that makes me
Dominik, I am your father.
Interesting observation.
Big Daddy Walter.
Oh,
that would explain the size difference.
Yeah.
It really would.
Oh, okay.
There we go. We've got a David and Goliath story.
Set up with it again. If you do this, royalties, mate, royalties. Yeah. But that was a interesting feud anyway with the whole Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio thing. It's like it's kind of, I don't want to use the old we're feeling old because that's not really fair when we're like late 20s. But it's like watching that makes you feel old in some ways because it's like I remember watching that match, and then now look at him. He's like probably. His first kind of, few like wrestling match. He's actually going to wrestle. That's like really cool. When you think about it.
At SummerSlam against Seth Rollins.
But the cool thing is he had Seth Rollins as always has been. I kind of like his character anyway. It kind of works on the whole. People hate him because he can't shut up anyway. So it kind of works on his real life kind of how he acts sometimes on Twitter. So, but he had this cool thing where was it Seth Rollins came up with purple and black gear similar to his Rey Mysterio's gear when he faced off against Eddie Guerrero at Halloween Havoc '97. Again, I didn't notice until I looked it up. But like I like that. It's like Seth playing mind games with Rey to try and really mess with him. But. Yeah, obviously he had the bit with before this match with whole was it Ray Dominik trying to say, "Dad, I don't want you involved," like Ray involved, and obviously his mother was there as well. So really trying to make this a really personal match, like really personal. So
and for the most part, I think they did a good job.
Oh yeah, they did a really good job. I mean, Seth done a brilliant. I think I loved the whole he was just torn. It was like he was beating up sort of Dominik, but he wasn't focusing on Dominik. He was forcing every time he could have a shot. He was like, this is your fault, Ray. All of this is because of you, type stuff, and just beating the living hell out of him. I mean, he had the bit where, it was just a situation where when Seth wasn't keeping an eye off the ball, obviously Dominik started to get some momentum and started to get into the match. Really, there was a cool spot if you remember. Is a bit where I think Seth set up a table and he was going to sort of suplex him, Dominik, or like a back suplex through the table set up, but obviously got distracted by sort of taunting Ray again. That obviously Dominik got back into it and he took the kendo stick and done like a Russian leg sweep off the sort of rope and through the table. That was really cool stuff. I thought anyway.
Through the table, take note, Mandy Rose. I enjoyed Rey Mysterio, like when Dominik was on the upper hand, or when they were both down. You can hear Rey coaching his son. So he's got half like coach, but still dad.
Yeah,
which is really good. I really like Murphy to do a little bit more, because he's just kind of like the quiet muscle at the moment. I'd love him to play a bit more into it.
I guess they're waiting until obviously the Officer Pain can come back. I guess I haven't seen why they're not. I don't know what's going on with them, but so at the moment it's just them and Seth and Murphy at the moment. But
yeah, and it was Austin Theory as well, but now he's gone back down to, or rather over to NXT.
Yeah, that was brief, wasn't it? He joined and then he thought, nope, I'm good, I'm back. I'll go back to NXT. But yeah, I mean, I like that spot. Obviously, had a bit. Obviously, it wouldn't. What a shocker that obviously it's homage to two. I don't know if that's a dig. It's like, obviously he done the 619 to honour Ray, and then he done the frog splash to honour Eddie.
Yeah.
Was it one his actual father and one that wanted to be his father? 15.
Yeah. Well, in kayfabe, is his actual biological father.
Just the point now, but it's just, I don't know. I don't think it was, but it was a nice. I mean, he got good height on it. I mean, that frog splash looked pretty decent.
Yeah, was good.
And obviously through this match, obviously, was it Rey Mysterio's wife came out, kind of like we look at, because obviously Seth was beating hell out of Dominik. Then kind of started that kind of like, Ray's going up to her saying, "What are you doing here?" and sort of got the really family dynamic going. Yeah. That's kind of like. I don't know if that's a homage of just to the match here with the many years ago. I don't know if it's like was it 15 years later? Was it 17?
Yeah, 15. It was 2005. The match happened. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So 15 years later, and it's kind of a similar storyline in some ways, just a bit different. But I think the kind of the ending with bringing in the handcuffs involved and kind of like sort of handcuffing Ray to the ropes, it was quite cool to sort of like really make it personal. Yeah,
I really wanted the mother to come down to the ring, because she just kind of like stood there like deadpan. It's like, just do something. Like, kind of, I know you're upset. Show at least some emotion. Try and do something.
I know, but it's like, I guess it's just like, it's what can you really do if you're not used to this kind of business, like pop being involved.
Yeah, and then when Seth was approaching her, I was like, stomp her, stomp her, stomp.
Something like that. I was just like,
imagine that.
Yeah, but no one was expecting like Seth to not lose this match. Like Dominik was like, it was supposed to be like a sort of see what make Dominik look like really competent, really good, but then Seth was gonna win. That's what I thought anyway, going in, by far. Yeah,
I thought it was going to be more and more mind games, leading towards like another match between Ray and Seth down the line. If Dominik would have won, obviously it wouldn't have been like clean. Maybe like catching him off guard. Maybe one lovely thing if they kept doing homages to Ray and Eddie. If you remember the spot of in WrestleMania 20 where Eddie's got the injured ankle, or supposed injured ankle, and he undoes the shoelace, and he manages to catch Angle in the roll up. If they did something like that, maybe.
Yeah, I remember watching that again when I was doing my Eddie best match thing. It's a great match.
Yeah.
Anything with Eddie and Kurt Angle, great. Yeah. But yeah, they could have done that. But again, it's just like it kind of can't have Seth kind of lose to sort of a new buddy. Really, if they're building him up as just like, I guess, top heel more. So, but yeah, I like the taunting in the end where it's kind of like, Rollins, it's like I said, taunting Ray, who's cuffed on the ropes, and then kind of like right in front of Ray's eyes, like curve stomps Dominik into the canvas, like, and then just puts the pin, and that really like mind games. It's just the way he sold it was, I love that. I think it's really, really good match. Really, storyline was great. I like the kind of like dynamic. Kind of everyone played their part really well, and it was.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's. This was the kind of match that if you take away the kind of blip at Extreme Rules, I'm enjoying this feud, man. Really am.
Yeah, all Extreme Rules needed was not an eye for an eye match, but we've said it before in our previous podcast. It just had to be an Extreme Rules match, but both competitors were trying to take each other's eyes out. Because in Extreme Rules match, you can do what you want.
Yeah, or
anyway.
just like, I don't know. I mean, obviously you couldn't do it anyway because of concussions, but it's like, I don't know. Could have done like a concerto. Like, I know it's like Edge type thing, but it's kind of like you don't see head chair shots. So it's like maybe make that like a thing. Like it's like Randy Orton's found a way to get the punt back. So obviously they're not as concerned of like showing concussions or people getting their head kicked in as much as they used to. So. But obviously we know where this went. Because obviously we'll talk about it more tomorrow, and I'll payback review with the whole there. This resulted in a tag team match on Payback. We'll talk about that more when payback. But yeah, that was. But yeah, I mean, it was a good. I just enjoyed it. It's just like it's got that personal stakes, and obviously because Ray's so good, Stu good, and Seth, as much as we don't like him, maybe his mouth gets him in trouble sometimes. No one can deny he's great in the ring. Yeah. So. When he got two, Ray is pretty decent. I haven't seen him in a bad match for a while, so if he gets the right opponent, he's still go. So, but yeah, I'm liking this, man. It was good. It was only like 20 minutes. It flew by, I think.
Yeah, they gave it time, which was nice. It had the proper fight feel as well. It felt like a street fight, which is good. Yeah,
pretty much. I mean, it actually felt like using the again. I love the kendo stick stuff. It's like properly using those. Properly making them feel devastating for a change, you know, especially because they do they get overused sometimes, but like them things hurt. And then we're not talking about like wrestling and all that. Oh, it doesn't hurt. It's like things hurt, man, and the kendo sticks hurt.
Yep.
Especially when you got was it Dominik during the bit as a build up with one on the back and one on the front, continuous.
Yep.
Ouch.
Yeah. And people used to get them in the head as well. If you
they're insane.
Remember.
Honestly, they have more guts than I have, man. Seriously. Props, mate. Props. So obviously obviously that was that Seth match was really awesome. So, but yeah. So obviously now we get to part 2 of the matches between Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Asuka. Obviously the kind of we could say rematch from the Extreme Rules with the Raw Women's Championship with Sasha Banks the champion going in against Asuka. Obviously going into this, obviously from the start of the show, they're obviously working with Asuka was working like an injured knee. So and obviously from the get go, Banks worked on that. But again, let's just briefly go. And it's like I'm assuming when it comes to this going into this pay per view, you were going on the assumption that Asuka was not going out with both belts, and she was going to at least win one, and this was the one that she was going to win.
Yeah, if she didn't leave with any of the titles. I guess you take away all of her credibility. I know she's the babyface and she's awesome, and she wrestles 2 matches, but she has to come out with something.
Yeah, I mean, they did book a really like proper decent babyface in this 2 matches. I got to be honest. I haven't seen Asuka look. I don't want to say like it's been like amazing, but it's like it's the first time I think in a while actually this year. I was like she looks like the kind of Asuka we saw in NXT. And it's because she was in NXT, she was amazing. So, and it seems like they're booking her like that.
Well, they were mentioning that she was unbeaten for how long was it? Like 900 days.
I can't remember. It's on.
It was a long time. Maybe like 700 days. Yeah, it was a long time.
And you don't just like do that for anyone. So it's like it's got to be a reason for it, right? So yeah, absolutely. I mean that's why I think I like this thing with. As always, you said with championships, and that's championship runs or feuds are better when you've got title defenses against people that are credible. And obviously Asuka, maybe Sasha Banks, like you actually got a credible threat instead of just some tagged along sort of person you just got to beat this week. But going into this, it was obviously if going into the show, start the show, Bayley won, so you knew okay maybe this is Sasha Banks. Probably going to lose.
Yeah, is Bayley going to return the favour, basically?
Yeah, pretty much as you said earlier. That's the story. And the problem is, Sasha Banks has a problem with the way they book her. She never has actually successfully defended a title she's won, if I remember that record. They brought it up on the commentary during this.
Yeah, they did bring up in the commentary, I feel on the backstage segment as well. I mean, she was flip-flopping winning the title and losing the title, the Raw title especially, between Charlotte. But I didn't mind that one so much because they were two of the best on the roster. They probably are still two of the best on the roster, and they had a really good feud, and they were doing a lot of firsts, like Falls Count Anywhere, Hell in the Cell. So I didn't mind that at all. I didn't mind it fluctuating. If you've got two really good competitors, it's like with Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle, it kept flip-flopping. Didn't mind that at all because they're both incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but it's like it's kind of, in some ways it's kind of hurt, I guess, Sasha Banks' credibility in some ways, because he's had some big wins like with the title over the years. But
yeah, I have a feeling they're going to make it up to her though. Obviously, Payback's just happened. She's no belts, Banks, but I can see her. Maybe there's a when they have the team match Survivor Series, something happens there. Sasha wins the Royal Rumble. I can see them making amends and Sasha having her big WrestleMania moment, because I think of all the horsewomen so far, that they've all had their WrestleMania moment. They've all had their big title wins. Sasha hasn't had that yet. And I think they're going to give it to her.
That makes sense. I mean, I think what I've been thinking they would do with this, obviously we're going to match this briefly in a little bit, but it's like what I think they're going to do is they're going to do a situation where if they bring it up, she keeps losing the big one. Like she can win it, but she can't defend it. Is that she's going to, when they turn and Sasha turns on Bayley, hopefully, or Bayley turns on Sasha. It's like when they have their feud for the title, Banks wins. And then when she defends it against Bayley again, she wins again. So she breaks the duck against Bayley. I think I don't know. I think that's I think that's the way I'm looking at it. I don't know if you're looking at it kind of the same.
Yeah, I'm thinking Sasha wins at Mania against Bayley.
I mean, if they want to go proper long term,
I think they will. They've been doing a good job so far. They've been doing it for since longer than WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think since start of 9. I don't know when there's feud actually. It's been you could say 3 years if you count the on and off togetherness booking they've been doing, but yeah. I mean, I think it's like it's with the losing the titles, they've got their heights and now they're starting to the titles have been stripped away of them slowly. That it's like they're starting to move it along, get it, escalate it more. So it's going to happen at least. I don't know if on a random Raw going into the next pay-per-view at Clash of Champions, maybe, or they're the Clash of Champions, or after Clash of Champions, maybe prolong it more, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, so just thought I'd bring that up. Yeah, into the match though. I mean, again, Banks was working on that knee. Made sense, wasn't it? She took it out and worked on it more, and then just kept working at it through most of the match. If you remember this awesome spot where Asuka was on the apron, and I think Banks did this. Was it sunset flip powerbomb onto the floor? You remember that? It's like seriously looks so cool. It's one of the it's one of the things you put on the highlight reels, like the things that you talk about. That kind of stuff. I like that. What's it another thing? Like Bayley on the outside. I'm loving her trash talking on the outside. I've got to be honest.
I like Bayley trash talking. I like Sasha when she's outside the ring as well, especially when she looks really concerned when her friend's getting beaten up or losing. Yeah, just like Bayley was just like, you're stupid. Was it like when after that powerbomb, she was like, you're stupid, you're an idiot. All that kind of stuff. Like just it's just simple things like that. I know it's not amazing, but I like it when heels are like really dickish like that. Proper being arseholes, right? Yeah. I mean, again, we obviously, I don't know if it's like a frog splash thing going for this show, but it's like we obviously had the Montez Ford had a frog splash, Dominik had a frog splash. Sadly, I don't think Seth had a frog splash. It's weird. That's usually his thing. Usually, but I don't think he's done it since. Has he done it since he's been a heel? Because if you're doing like a high flying move, it's more of a face
but
thing,
he does that sort of diving thing for the ropes, doesn't he? So obviously Sasha got her frog splash. It seems to be a thing. I think it was I think the best moment was the bit where I think it was like Banks couldn't beat Asuka, and it was like Bayley was like, you're the best. We could beat her, she's stupid. Yeah, they're having doubts. That was lovely. And then sort of like, and then was it Banks charged at Asuka, but it's just like the way she did it, and and Asuka was able to lock in the Asuka lock, but the way it was done, was really cool. I really liked it, and the kind of back and forth between the situation where Asuka put the Asuka lock, and then Banks countered it into the Banks statement, and then Asuka countered it again to get into the Asuka lock. It's like it's what was amazing about that match at Extreme Rules was that kind of like they've got this chemistry that I can't really describe. It's just like the counters are just so fluid and slick. It's like they're just amazing. I honestly think I don't want this feud to end, but it kind of has to. But match quality wise, they're just really good in the ring together.
One thing I can see is going to Clash of Champions, and it factors in the result of SummerSlam slightly with Payback as well. Bayley won her match against Asuka. Sasha took a bump on the floor, basically taking Asuka's attack and then leading to a distraction. Bayley didn't quite do that. I mean, it was slightly odd the way they did it.
It was a bit strange, right?
But I can imagine a Night of Champions when Sasha, it plays into Sasha having doubts as well. She can beat Asuka, because people are just giving away rematches now. You don't have to earn them. You can just ask them. Asuka invites Sasha's like, oh yeah, okay, you can have one more shot if you want. I suggest that you don't have Bayley by ringside. And then they play into a thing. Sasha goes, no Bayley, no. I'm going to see if I can do this by myself. And Bayley gets annoyed about that, because that means Sasha's not by or Bayley's not by Sasha's side.
Yeah, and obviously she doesn't like that, I guess.
Or Sasha's not by Bayley's side, yeah.
Or maybe she doesn't like that or something. Yeah. And then she comes out anyway.
Creating a bit of division.
And costs Banks the rematch, maybe. I think that's where you got it.
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, mate, yeah, you keep going.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going down, the road I was thinking.
I guess in the old great minds think alike works here, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
So, the only problem I found with this... when we've done Skype is I've noticed when we're doing it for the last months now, it's like I can't help but talking over you, or like you do, I can't help it. It's like I guess it's hard when it's like connection issues.
Yeah.
I just apologise now, man. I don't mean to talk over you, man.
No, that's fine. I've done it to you as well. Obviously there are technological issues. There's going to be some kind of lag, but also when we get passionate about a subject and we're on the same wavelength, then of course they're going to be like twins, like minds thinking alike and speaking over each other, completing each other's
sentences. It's just I think it's like I think of some interviews of like other people. I think one time I was watching Jamie Carragher once, and it's like he hates people talking over him or like interrupting him. So I don't know if that's like an irritation. Some people because like talking over you, it's kind of can be annoying, I guess.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, here you can. Obviously, technology involved. There's lag, so I don't mind that so much. It's when you're making it. It's usually if someone's making a point or trying to say something, then someone else just continues on what they were talking about when they finished, or talking a different point to you. Like I was bloody speaking then.
I try not to do that.
Don't make me super kick you.
I think I try and make it a thing where it's like if you're speaking, I kind of like okay, mate, you go, because it's like it's just I go by the premise I hate it if someone did it to me. So if I do it, then it's kind of hypocritical a little bit, But anyway, I think that's what will probably happen. Obviously, we'll find out. This is Monday, so obviously that might be a thing on Monday night when they got there on Monday. So that'd be cool. Sure. Again, it's like them two matches are just like the story was just good. I think it's just like it was a competent, good story between Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Asuka. And I can't give chops to Asuka. It's like double duty. I know they're like 10 to 11 minute matches, but they still do double duty on the show. It's still a big deal. So
yeah, and selling the leg injury as well, carrying it over.
Really good. I mean, I'm glad she won the title, because obviously I didn't think she should have lost it anyway, but in the way she did anyway. But obviously she wasn't on Payback, so don't have to worry about crossover in that sense. But I'd be interested to see who the opponent is next. Like who's going to be the next challenger for her. Are they going to continue with Sasha Banks, or it might be another challenger? I don't know.
I think so. I mean, I'd like to see Asuka and Shayna Baszler at some point.
Yes. I really want to talk about. Okay, well, I was going to sit there and say because obviously, great performance by Sasha Shayna Baszler, Payback. We're getting that tomorrow, but we're
getting that tomorrow.
But yeah, I mean, they've been teased. They teased that at the Elimination Chamber with the whole, basically Shayna Baszler sort of just, was it dominating the whole thing, and then sort of like waiting for Asuka, and it's just that 2-3 minutes where just Asuka's like flipping out, wanting to attack her. I mean, yeah. If Asuka gets that could be a defining feud for a title. I kind of think that's what she needs, but yeah, I think that might be where it goes. I mean, anybody else you can think of?
For Asuka, maybe she does something with the Iconics. They're always entertaining. Iconics can be co-Raw Women's Champion.
That lay cool.
If Iconics lose to Asuka, I don't think that hurts any credibility because they're just popular, they're hilarious, and they whine and bitch complain all the time.
Yeah, perfect heels, like the basic.
Perfect.
I love it, but yeah, I mean, what was it that thing? I saw a report saying like two women's wrestlers that are going to be like define they're going to push to be like the defining of the generation. It was what was it? So was it? Well, both of the Iconics. I can't. Both of their names escape me just at the moment.
Peyton Royce and Billie Kay.
Peyton Royce, that's the one I was thinking of. Apparently, they're gonna they might be pushing her. So I saw a report. I think that's like Vince is very high on her. If you know what I mean, like they quite respect like her ability in the ring. So I don't know. Maybe they might push her. Maybe, and maybe she might have a shot against Asuka. Maybe. Well, she was pushed as a single star in NXT for a bit, wasn't she? I didn't watch. I don't think I watched that NXT, but was she?
Yeah, for a bit.
Fair enough. Sure. I mean, but it could be the way. But I guess in the Shayna Baszler one would be more appealing. Because I just want to see that match. It'd be great. They're both kind of similar in style in some ways. Both sound submission experts, so it'd be good to watch. But yeah, obviously we're down. We're getting through this, man. We're doing good.
Yeah, was it 2 more to go?
I still think this is still going to be quite a long review though, but it's still. But I don't think it'll be as long as like 2 hours, so we should be okay. So we should be fine. But yes, obviously now we go to the next match between Drew's defending his WWE Championship against Randy Orton.
Yep.
Again, this kind of feud has been built on the whole idea of sort of like, Randy Orton's basically gone after Edge. It's kind of been taking out, members of his past, like sort of. He's taking out, taking out Shawn Michaels, took out Ric Flair.
Big Show, Christian.
He's gone a bit crazy, like proper.
Yeah, he's combined elements of the Age of Orton with Legend Killer Orton. Like the two best Ortons. This is some of Orton's best work, I think.
By far. It's been the best stuff he's done since I probably would say
Age of Orton.
Age of Orton, definitely. I mean, I was about to say maybe the time when he was a bit faulty, but that wasn't his great work. No. Yeah, I mean, it's his most vicious, if that's the word. Like, they made him like proper dangerous again. Yeah. I think it's because they've convinced him. I read something about Orton's convinced him to make him do the punt again. Yeah. And when they brought that back, he's become more dangerous again because that's they're booked that as like as an ender, as a career ender.
Yeah, for sure.
Or you're out for a while. But yeah, I mean, and obviously the whole thing with this story is like basically like Drew's like saying you can't be doing this, and the sort of like heroic babyface champion saying you can't be doing this. Yeah. Add some more spice to basically, as you said, Randy Orton just challenging Drew for the title and Drew accepting. But as I said in our previous review, we said I think it's like when we were talking about who we thought was going to challenge, and it was either going to be Seth or Randy Orton because they're the two best booked heels.
Yeah, Seth had his go. Was it Money in the Bank? Orton was the obvious next pick. We called it again. Beating Edge. Then he went. Who did he go against afterwards? He beat Edge twice. Extreme Rules. He had a match, didn't he? Did you have a match with Extreme Rules?
No, I don't think he did.
I can't remember, boy.
Let's have a quick look, whatever. Yeah, I don't think he did, but yeah, I think again it's like I'm liking the way they're booking it, man. It's like Orton. This is the best Orton, and again, we've talked about how much praise, how much I'm really liking this Drew McIntyre WWE title run. It's been they've actually booked both. I haven't seen. He's actually had most of his championship matches have been really good.
I think so too. Yeah, they haven't just been like 20 minutes of, or rather like 15 minutes of like rest holds and not a lot of in-ring psychology, and then the final 5 minutes, okay, finish a spam or whatever it may be. They've been good psychological battles. Yeah, and
they've both been like things that really test Drew. He has to find his way. He has to find a clever ways of finding his way out of it. Or it's always like it doesn't feel like a by the numbers thing, if you know what I mean. It feels like it's like he just gets it. He just gets the win. So it's a tough battle.
And he's got that finishing move he can, like the RKO, just do out of nowhere. It's a desperation thing. Kick him in the face. He's been beaten, battered, bloody, but he can just hit that. Boom, done. Yeah,
that's what I mean. It's got that out of nowhere feel. That Claymore kick is that kind of thing. But I think so. I was kind of looking. I wasn't looking forward to it, but it was like I was intrigued to see how it would play out, because sometimes Orton's style doesn't always mix well with some people.
Yeah,
because it worked with Edge, but I think they said similar kind of error, so they probably know each other probably better.
Similar error, yeah.
But with this one, it's like I was intrigued. But I think it worked well. I think it worked really well. I liked the thing at the beginning with Randy Orton kind of going in and out of the ring, trying to play mind games with Randy Orton. Not Randy Orton, playing mind games with Drew. To try and really make him frustrated.
Yeah, and then doing the exact same thing, but flipping it for Drew. Was it, he almost hit Drew with an RKO or a punt, I think, and Drew just about avoided. I think so. Orton was playing mind games. Drew was out the ring.
Yeah, it was like early on. He hit he almost. Yeah, it was like properly. It was like properly psychological type stuff that I like, because it's.
Yeah, Orton was getting in Drew's head, and Drew just had to like stop for a moment and go, "Okay, focus now. Don't let him fuck with your head," basically.
I mean, it's pretty much that. I mean, kind of other stuff. I think it was brought up like. I think we had another table spot. I think there was like another announce table spot. I think, if I remember. With was it a slam? Was it he done Orton super? Oh, I know. You know that movie's been doing a bit when he sort of does that suplex onto the announce table.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he done that move there once, but he done it twice. The kind of really, it's basically like that's his thing at the moment, where just like he doesn't even take the announce table out of the equation, take all the stuff off like you do in the announce table, and he just just basically done that back suplex thing he's been doing outside. That's really cool. I kind of like the thing with Drew. Drew done this like a lot of like a homage to Ric Flair when I think he done a figure 4 leg lock.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a nice tribute in some ways, obviously, because he's I think Ric Flair was the latest. I think like the last person to get pumped before the show.
Shawn Michaels was.
Yes. And I think that promo was it asking him what does he think about the result, who he thought was going to win. It was a really strange one by Shawn. I've got to be honest, it was a bit unusual. But it was one of those things. It's just like it was a good kind of Orton was just trying to get in his head, kind of mess with him, so he make a mistake, and he kept going for the RKO. As you expect with Drew, you expect him to be like a situation where he just hits a Claymore kick out of nowhere, and then sort of that's it. Yeah. But in this case, it wasn't. It was maybe it went for it played on the whole "you never seen it coming" or something, like the whole tagline.
Yeah, I want to talk about this.
for the main event, or just for this like finish?
Well, it's for both. Again, we've got hindsight as well, but at that point, that roll up happened. Drew got the win, skin of his teeth. You never saw it coming. I was furious. I'm like, you did all this build up. You'll never see it coming. Something big is going to happen. Is Ric Flair going to be okay? And is actually playing mind games and sided with Orton again, just trying to trick him, trying to trick Drew. Something like that going to happen. Was Drew going to turn heel or something? I don't know. But a roll up, you didn't see that coming. Well, true, I didn't see it coming,
but not in a good way.
But I didn't see that coming. No, but all that build up and you do that. They made amends for it later on for the next match.
That's true.
But if they just did that and left it as it was, imagine that was the main event. Oh, you never saw that coming. Bye, everybody. What?
It was strange. I give you that.
A roll up.
It was strange. It's like
just completely troll your audience.
WWE love trolling us, right? It's what they do, right? They like messing with us, but not in a good way. But again, it was just a situation. It was just like Drew was like waiting for, like setting it up. He was pissed off at this point. So he really wanted to knock Randy Orton's head off. But again, it's like I don't mind a roll up or the way they did it, kind of like backslide pinfall. No. But
yeah,
they could have just done a simple thing of just him kicking his head in, get the pin, 1, 2, 3, simple. But
I guess they wanted to protect Orton, I guess.
Yeah, because if it's a roll up, it kind of is a fluke victory, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, overall, like again, I got the time like 20 minutes this match, and it was like really good. Like the storyline was there, the psychology was there.
Yeah.
I kind of my kind of fears that maybe Randy Orton wouldn't. His style might not fit Drew. It worked. I think it worked really well. So again, it seems to be another cap for Drew McIntyre to have like. It's been how many defenses now? Like 4 or 5.
Yeah. So you've had. I guess you count Big Show's one at the same night as WrestleMania. Big Show, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Dolph Ziggler twice, Randy Orton.
That's like 5. Yeah, it's 5, 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've seen a bad match yet. I mean, a bad match have really frustrated me. Even the Bobby Lashley one had some good storyline to it.
Yeah, they played into the submission, which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a title reign like this in a while. Where it's just like they're actually booking him strong, but like the matches are so like different in every way that it feels like a struggle.
And they're putting him against the right people, even if it wasn't the right person. Again, the stakes are there for Drew. There's something he has to overcome.
Yeah, and it's like it's creative every time. It's like it's always a struggle. Like proper, like they really push the whole like he's a babyface who's got to endure this kind of stuff to get through it. I mean, it's just refreshing to actually see a WWE champion booked right for a change. I mean, but that's me anyway. But yeah, I mean, obviously we know what kind of happened on the obviously because Drew wasn't on the show, but obviously we'll talk about that when the payback show when we review it tomorrow. So obviously now we get to the main event of the show. Picked up between the Universal Universal Championship match between Braun Strowman against the Fiend Bray Wyatt, and if I remember, it was a Falls Count Anywhere match. If I remember, yes.
Yeah, I think that was added last minute too. Sorry, I didn't yawn because it was bored of the match. Well, it was a little bit underwhelming, but
it's fine.
Maybe it is a long review.
It's fine, mate. I mean, I won't take it personally. But yeah, I mean, interesting build when it came to this match. I've got to be honest. The whole thing with obviously Braun not being in the first 2 weeks because the whole thing of being technically murdered by the Fiend at the compound or the swamp. Yeah. Interesting when they brought in Alexa Bliss. It was interesting. I liked the kind of dynamic they were trying to go there. But then obviously, so the only problem I have going into this match is like, so is it 2 heels going against each other?
Yeah, that's my thinking as well. And then you've got another heel for Payback, but that's Payback.
Yeah, sorry.
It's really odd because they're trying to book everyone really, really strong. But if Braun's lost twice now, well, 3 times now, and he's meant to come back as the monster as he was, when he was flipping over ambulances and things, which is the Braun I like to see, but we've not seen the result. We've not seen his actions. We haven't seen him destroy anything. We just seen him be very angry and talk like this. I'm a monster. It's like, well, do something.
Sorry, when you did that, all I thought about is Christian Bale as Batman. When he was doing the whole he's got to be angry, so he's got.
Where's Alexa?
So he has to say.
Where's Alexa?
Gotta be honest, he did sound like that sometimes. I gotta be honest. But I mean, Alexa being involved was interesting. But the problem with it is that where was she in this match? Why build it and then not involve her?
And then she was technically part of the Payback match, but not involved.
Obviously, yeah, like just sort of brief, like one cut to her watching the match.
There were 2 cuts, but yeah,
I must have skipped the first one. No, but yeah. Okay, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's Full Count Anywhere match. I thought maybe they'd protect both guys. I thought they'd have some big spot they wouldn't see it coming. Where I don't know, something big, something interesting. to us, I can't really remember the match too much because it was overshadowed, and I think brilliantly. Should we just go straight into that, or is there anything in particular you want to?
I mean, I've got. I know you're eager to talk about the finish, but I've got some stuff on it.
Okay.
I mean, I think the full count anywhere stipulation definitely helped it, because without it, it would have kind of sucked big time, way more than.
Yeah.
I guess what little gripe, that neck twisting thing where it looks like he breaks your neck.
Does it twice?
Yeah. Really, I don't know if it's like little nitpick, but I hate that. That should be an ender. That should be end of a match type thing.
Yeah, I agree. When he did it against Finn Balor, like, oh Jesus Christ, is that could be like the end of that? You're breaking someone's neck; they're dead.
Yeah, it's like
you do.
Should be like a thing like that. Should like finisher. If you're gonna do it, do it that way. Other thing? Yeah, it's the. Was it Strowman? Like, was it done the whole thing through the barricade? That was cool, like the usual spot. The Fiend went for the announce table, a choke slam by Braun. I would have liked them to use the outside, the Falls Count Anywhere stipulation more. Yeah,
I thought that use the Thunderdome, like smash one of the screens, maybe.
Yeah, well, they only went to the backstage the bit when you wait before they go when they come out for to the ring, and it had like we had that bit where you done the Sister Abigail by the Fiend on Braun Strowman onto the. I think it was on the floor or onto the sort of wall outside, but except for that, I just wish there was more. I think they had an opportunity. I don't know if it's like limited for where they are, maybe.
Yeah. I also thought maybe with this match, because I thought the build was really good. Like if you watch the, did you see the Thunderdome episode of SmackDown the day before, 2 days before SummerSlam? It was. The Fiend and Braun Strowman facing off against each other in the ring. Well, first it was the Fiend and Vince McMahon. Then Braun came out, and then Retribution came out. They surrounded the ring. The Fiend just kind of casually went, "Okay, bye-bye, blackout, gone." And it's Braun by himself. Where were Retribution?
Yeah, that's the thing. They
where were they on SummerSlam?
One thing I said, they promoted them like, oh, Retribution, you know, but then nothing. Pretty much. I don't know if that's by the pure they just built up and there's a design there that we don't know about. But yeah, I mean, I guess we had a chance to talk about like the redemption. Was it with? Well, did we have a chance to talk about it?
Retribution.
Yeah. Because obviously I've read.
We haven't talked about it. No.
I mean, we could briefly talk now. We talk. I think it'd be more. We could.
Well, they're just basically a rip-off kind of version of Nexus, but they're like
less interesting.
They're like crap Antifa, basically.
Yeah. Well, it's like they're playing on the whole.
Even though Antifa are very shitty anyway, but yeah,
it's
kind of like someone just throws like an egg at the house and they're like, like, that's not.
It just doesn't interest me.
The most badass thing they had was Nexus should have done that when they had the chainsaw and cut the rope. That was pretty much the only badass thing they did.
I think the problem with it is it's just again, when I think about it, the first thing I think about is it has that kind of like Aces and Eights thing to it, because they all wear masks. So I obviously know what they're trying to do it, but I think it's like a situation until you really figure out who it is, who's like letting these people in, and who's leader of it. It's kind of just pointless. Like it's random for no reason, just to be random. Yeah,
I think they don't know yet. I think that's probably why they held off. They don't know who the lead's going to be.
Oh, I've got some ideas who it could be that could make it. It could actually totally redeem it. But I guess we could. But anyway, but we'll talk about the kind of finish before, and then we'll talk about the thing I know you really want to talk about. So, what's the bit with the bolt? Was it what was it called? The box cutter. And then was it open up the ring and sort of like open up the canvas and stuff. I was like, okay, interesting. It's new, I guess. Yeah. Maybe again it could be a tease because obviously that's kind of like what the kind of like open up the ring, that kind of stuff. But
what they did with Gargano and Ciampa in their street fights, so their second match. But I thought with the box cutter, that's okay. I thought with the box cutter, he was going to do something with. Obviously, the first thing's like, oh god, you're going to stab him. Great, you're going to stab Bray. Or it's like, well, or cut his mask off, or cut his dreads, or something like that.
The mask I was thinking of when I saw it. I think it was like, I don't know. It's like you're gonna like maybe cut his mask or like show human inside, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but they did it. I mean, it's interesting because I guess it shows that Braun's going like a dark place. He's really in a dark place at the moment. So he'd do anything to take down the Fiend. But no, I mean, it just ended with the Fiend basically hitting Sister Abigail, one Sister Abigail, and then hitting another one onto the exposed, I guess, in the wooden area of the ring. And then, got the win. We were expecting it, to be fair. I mean, I just don't. There was no point Braun winning it, really, because his Universal title run has been a stopgap anyway.
Well, he's been with Bray for 3 months, and then the week before, or the month before, or months before, he was the handicap match against Miz and Morrison.
That's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been from day one. We know it's been a stopgap. That's why it's always felt like that. We're hoping they might do something with him, and they have. I mean, this feud with Bray's been, I guess, interesting. Some people say boring, but I like
that they've tried some story, which is okay. You know,
I just think it's like they tried this with John Cena, and it was done way better. With the kind of like using his past against him. I think they've done it with John Cena with less time and better, but maybe it's because it was WrestleMania. Yeah. But I mean, again, I like I just like the introduction of Alexa Bliss involved, and kind of like. But I just wish she maybe was the one that cost the Fiend or Braun Strowman cost or something like that. I was hoping that's what they would do, but they didn't. And obviously now we can talk about it. Obviously after the match we've got the win, so Bray got the Fiend got the win, and then out of nowhere the returning Roman Reigns has returned. Obviously at this point he's been.
You didn't see that coming.
I actually did not, but I give him, because I literally thought it'd be out into it like it was like fans would start to come back or something. But I didn't see it coming. But when I thought at the end of the show, I was like, that's it. I was like, really? You tagged all that for that?
Yeah, but there had to be something like, oh, here comes Retribution now, surely. Maybe we find out who the leader is. No, it's Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns comes out.
No, and obviously the way he was attacking sort of Braun Strowman, like sort of them continuous shots to Braun Strowman outside the ring, and then I think he hit another spear on was it the Fiend? But it's just like obviously he's got interested with his t-shirt, wreck everything and leave.
I like that slogan.
Yeah. It's very. I think it was more confirmed when we talk about the SmackDown before Payback was more apparent.
Yeah.
Well, we all know what we're talking about here, but yeah, if you know, but it was kind of very heel kind of thing he was doing, proper intensity.
It was.
So we're kind of thinking, are they going to finally do it, turn him heel at this point?
And when you see Heyman come into frame in SmackDown, the following episode, it's like, yeah, it's confirmed. Roman's turned heel.
Yeah, I mean, well, obviously we'll get way more into it when we talk about the main event of Payback about it. I'm intrigued. I mean, at first it's he's come back heel, just be heel, but then the addition of Paul Heyman's like interesting. But it's like it's the first time in a while I've gone interesting, but not in a it's like negative interesting. It's more of a might actually want to watch this pay-per-view, the next pay-per-view. I might actually want to watch might want to watch SmackDown to see where this goes.
And they announced, I think it was like pretty much straight afterwards, it's going to be like the reigns that we saw, the heelish reigns against Fiend and Strowman, no holds barred. Like, ooh, that sounds interesting.
Again, if it was just the Roman Reigns we'd be having for years, we'd be like, oh god. But they mixed it up a bit. It's gone a bit heel, and then obviously going into it, we have the addition of Paul Heyman being he's become a Paul Heyman guy. And then it's just like, I got to be honest, I was like, they've done it. I'm sold. You've got me. I didn't give two craps about this payback prior to this, but then you find out it's a Paul Heyman game. You're like, oh, interesting. See what we're going to do with it.
There we go.
And I was like, I was hooked. Yep. That was all I was waiting for during that payback thing. But we'll obviously get into that when we review the show tomorrow. But so that was the end of SummerSlam. Ended with a shock return. I definitely didn't see it coming, but it's not. It wasn't exactly like a feeling. Oh my god! But it was like, oh,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like it was kind of. I would say all the build. It's like the hype in it. That was the big. That was the big like swerve, or something they've been teasing going into SummerSlam. So that was it. I don't know. Just didn't. At the time, anyway. Obviously, I've got way more excited about the Roman Reigns return last couple of weeks. Obviously, in prior.
Yeah.
But yeah, at first I was like, oh, is that it? Roman Reigns is back. Okay, that's cool, I guess. If they were going to book him the way they were, but no, give him credit. They've made him really interesting, and it might be the best.
Yeah.
As we've been saying for years, the best thing they could ever do to Roman Reigns. Just let him be himself and just turn him heel.
Yeah, turn him heel, wreck everyone, and leave.
Yeah. And to be fair, he has done that. It's like finally like a slogan that works. Like it literally just turns up, destroys everything, baggers off. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the end of SummerSlam. Obviously, we've got. I think we've done okay trying to not muddy the waters between not talking about the other stuff at Payback. I think we've done okay.
I think we've done all right.
I think at the beginning it started off pretty bad, but then we've worked our way through it, and I hope everyone who's listening to this is stuck with us.
And thank you for sticking with us.
Yes, this is an unusual situation because normally we're quite. If we're late to reviews, it's only a couple of days, but it's bound to happen. It's like anything. It's the kind of thing I've always feared will happen for years. Like just schedule stuff will get in the way. But luckily for the last 3 years, it hasn't really. We've found a way to get around it. But it's the first time in probably it's only happened 2 or 3 times in 3 years, so it's not bad. So, but yeah, so that's sort of end this because I'm guessing we'll obviously end this off. So, overall, SummerSlam, when you came out of it, if you could, obviously a week ago, what were you thinking? Were you happy with the show? Were you thinking it was pretty lackluster, or what? What was your feelings?
For obviously the big show for SummerSlam, there was only maybe I'd say 3 or 4 matches that interested me. Where SummerSlam's meant to be like the big card, like the WrestleMania of the summer, basically. Yeah. And I think every year, SummerSlam has, Money in the Bank has trumped SummerSlam for the last few years. So SummerSlam's it's under the big 5, but SummerSlam's the lowest of them. Of Rumble, Mania, Survivor Series, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam.
Okay.
I wish they'd do more of the concept. I would like them to have done, because they were potentially toying around with maybe doing SummerSlam on a beach or something like that. Yeah. By the way, I am still bitter about not getting my pirate ship at WrestleMania. But there we go.
I have to admit, when I saw the rumors of they're thinking of doing it on a boat, I was going to tag. Yeah. I was thinking of tagging you with it because I'd be like, I know you'll be happy with that. But yes, I don't get my pirate ship, but at least they're on a boat. It's close enough.
I'm on a boat, and that's the theme as well from Lonely Island. I'm on a boat.
I gotta be honest, they're gonna do one eventually. I just think it's because Jericho can do it. He's done it, and they've been great shows apparently. So, and I would love it. So definitely,
you can call it the Apollo Cruise.
Oh no, you didn't just say that. Oh, that's bad.
Tell me you did not just say that.
Oh my god, that's one of those. It's so bad. It's hilarious. Oh god, oh man, I know it's only been a week or so, but yeah, it's been too long, man. It's too
long.
When it comes to all this stuff that's happening in wrestling, I really wanted to chat to you about it, but it's like anything, it's not as simple as meeting up as anymore. But yeah, it's obviously. So, do you think if you're going to give a grading for the show, what was your thoughts? What did you enjoy? Anything you didn't enjoy? Like a grading system? What was your thoughts on it overall?
Overall, I was impressed by especially Dominik's performance. I did enjoy that match. The main event was underwhelming, but Roman Reigns returning made that kind of interesting and a good talking point. Drew and Orton was a good match, a slightly very underwhelming finish. I thought there was a bit more scope to do and more things to do with the whole Bayley, Sasha and Asuka. I thought they could have done a little bit more with that. I wanted to see AJ Styles and Hardy just tear it up, have a really good technical wrestling match. So I was a little bit underwhelmed, to be honest, but not awful. I wasn't bored, but nothing no match of the year candidates or match of the year quality. Yeah,
I mean, I think it was more of a. I put it. It's just it was it was one of the things, like, it was just as you sometimes expect with WWE pay-per-views. Sometimes is if kind of still have it, it's solid. Nothing crazy happened. Most of the matches were good, enjoyable enough to watch. Obviously, there are no crazy storylines or anything massive happening. Maybe it's Roman Reigns returning is like got a big talking point.
The storylines were like the plus, I think, because at least they tried things and they've tried some long-term bookings, which is good.
Like I said at the start of the podcast, like they felt earned. They felt like they actually, people that are on the show have had like they're the most prevalent storylines going into that SummerSlam. That was kind of nice. They felt earned instead of just sort of adding them around a match that kind of I still kind of hate. But yeah, I mean, if I was going to give it 7, maybe I would say 8, maybe, but I don't know if that's really fair. Get a 7, would that be, or like a?
Yeah, I'd say like it's usually again like a bog standard C, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I get used to kind of like not wanting to go back and watch these WWE shows. It's always like you watch it, that's cool, and then you move on. I guess, and that's how you work. But yeah, it was fine. It was. I didn't wake up. Then I didn't go up when it finished. It was good. It just finished under 3 hours, or just over 3 hours. I didn't go to bed going, why did I watch that? It was just like fine. It was fun. Yeah, but
there's some talking points, which is nice.
Yeah, and it kind of leads in quite nicely to the payback review we can do tomorrow. But yeah, again, apologise again for this being kind of like late in some ways, but
sorry.
But hey, you don't have to apologise, man. It happens. It's cool. I mean, I can't blame you if you want. I mean, you know, you can.
No, we all know the hashtag damage do. Yeah. You know, we know who the blame.
Yeah, I always get the blame, and I guess luckily I've got a strong mental. Well, I say I do. Maybe like what you don't know is when we stop calling, I cry because everyone doesn't like me. Because they keep blaming me for things. It's not my fault. every time you tag me, it's like damage to. It's like that wasn't me. That wasn't my fault this time. That was you. I'm your perfect scapegoat.
Damn it, Stu, stop making excuses.
Oh, God. But yeah, okay. But yeah, so we've done it though. We've done it. It took a while. It took a week, but we got there. So that's good. And I think
it's here now.
Yeah, we done a good job, I think, of trying to blur the lines between not trying to talk too much about payback, so we got enough to talk about tomorrow. So yeah. So I guess to finish off, I guess we usually do anything you want to plug. Got some stuff going on or on the works or?
I'm still writing for What Culture, so you can still check out my articles. Just go on What Culture, search my name, Joshua Plummer. That's the occupation, but 2 M's, no B. Plummer, Joshua Plummer, over on What Culture. What else is there that we can potentially plug? If you want to know more about our prediction game, which we've been doing for 3 years now, pretty much.
On.
You can still get involved if you want. Just drop us a message and we'll send you over the details. It's free to play and lots of fun to be had.
Well, that's obviously it's got. I think it was. Obviously we got. Was it the Survivor Series thing started on Payback? I think it was. So that started again. And obviously we got. We're trying to build more tag teams. That's quite cool for a JSPO tag division. Trying to build up again, aren't we?
We do. It's I think we've got a worse tag team division than WWE. Even though we've got some strong champions.
Yeah.
But teams not great.
But like unlike WWE, we're gonna fix it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
We're good. We'll start from the ground up and build it up again. That's what we're good at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say plug your if you want like your live streams, really, wouldn't you? Like your kind of.
Yeah, Sue and I, we do live streams over on Likee, Likee. It's similar to TikTok. We talk and stream about all sorts of different things. I do some cooking, do some exercising, do some bass guitar. Stuart does some reviews and some wrestling watchbacks, so you can tune into those. We share them over on Twitter whenever we're live. So you can check that out when over on Likee when we're streaming. Yeah. Come say hello.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think mine's every, like, I try to. I think I've done it good. It's like they're every 1 p.m. UK time. I make it like every day. So except for 1 or 2 mishaps, I think I've done all right in that sense.
Yeah.
So, check that out. I think it's, was it my name? Just search my name, Stuart Irvine, or my tagline, Irvine91, or in your case, tag, what, Plummy?
Yep, my username's Plummy on Likey.
Yeah, so if you want to check out that stuff, that'd be awesome. That would be appreciated because I think I guess Josh, I've enjoyed doing them live streams, and I know you have as well. So definitely check out the Likey stuff. Definitely check out What Culture. If you like, definitely check out was it your quiz? I think for the was it last year's SummerSlam, if I remember.
Yep, SummerSlam quiz. There's all sorts on there. There's a Vikings quiz. There's Dragon Ball Z. I've done articles on WWE, including best matches from Randy Orton. What else have I done? I've done Prison Break articles. I've done articles on documentaries on Netflix, which are very worth watching.
Yeah, it's been,
so have a read whenever you fancy.
It's been a blast for you, man. It's like started out. It's been constant. All kinds of stuff you're writing about. It's really awesome. It's really cool. So
yeah, I'd love to. I think I'm up to a total of 700,000 views. I'd love to reach 1 million. That's my goal. I'd love to reach 1 million views.
If it's going this way, mate, you're definitely going to reach 1 million at some point.
Yeah, before the end of the year, which I think I can do.
Yeah, definitely. It's like anything with just keep it up. Like anything, content.
Mm-hmm.
Just continuous content. He seems to be like posting everything, or at least once or twice a week, or something come out every week.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, definitely check that out. Just go on your Twitter, and it should be all up there and all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
it'll all be there.
Yeah, I think we should wrap this up. I think we've done all right. Yeah, hope you enjoyed our very late SummerSlam, but it was good talking about it. So until obviously next time, I'll be Stuart.
I've been Joshua Plummer.
And hopefully we'll be back next for our thoughts on Payback. So until then, have a good day. And see you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.